Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Listen, I'm gonna hey, before I start doing the sharing stuff or what ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into the Boxing Rush Hour show. My name is Abraham Gonzalez, founder of FightsATW.com. My co-host is Zachary Ochoa, professional fighter. What's the deal other than the shitty weather in New York?
Ah, sometimes it's great weather, sometimes it's shitty weather, but man, fuck it. It feels good. It's gonna be a good weekend, man. It's gonna be a good weekend. The week is going really smooth in boxing this week, so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know,
yeah,
man. I don't know.
yeah. Man, it's ah, I, there's a lot of Jim Jones Jomo energy out there. Jump off my AO.
I jump off my AO.
Hold on, I'm gonna put this out here. Uh, for those that don't know and are tuning in, I'm gonna put something out here to Mike Coppinger from ESPN and see if he wants to join us since the Turkey live that he was gonna do got canceled, I guess, because he deleted the post, and so did Turkey. So
Dang.
let me
Okay.
see. Since the Turkey live didn't go, I'm
We on
inviting
live right now. Coming through
yeah,
to the live, man.
I'm inviting Mike Coppinger
Where the people
to
really
join
listen.
us.
The people
Yeah, no
come through and they
doubt.
listen.
And now
People
I'm gonna
listen.
say something because as I'm doing this, yo, last week, if people pay attention, man,
Yeah, the figure, the figure.
Zach be dropping some jewels like on a slide. He don't think I be listening. Like right before we aired off, he was like, "Yeah, and stay tuned for big news coming out in the next week or so." I was like, you know what? I let it slide for a little bit, but then the week comes and we start getting some big news. I was like, "This motherfucker here, boy." uh, to join us on the live and talk about this week's events. Cop and or anyone else tap in. I'll put the link right there. Boom. Didn't go. I'm inviting you to join us on the live and talk about this week's events. Cop and or anyone else tap in. Boom.
Tap in,
And
ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, yeah. And listen, while that's circulating through, excuse me, cyberspace, man, we were treated with a hell of a night of boxing on Saturday night. David Benavidez versus David Morrell, but we also had Stephen Fulton Jr. versus Brandon Figueroa, Jesus Ramos against Banana Rosario, Cruz and Fierro. Let's first start with Jesus Ramos Jr. Um, we all knew that this was the fight that was not set up, but it was put together in an effort to have him back on everybody's radar again. When you saw Jesus Ramos Jr. last Saturday, did you feel after the fight? Did you feel that he was back? That he's back on the radar? And did you like some of the things that he was doing, or did you feel like he was doing some of the same things he was doing previously?
I think it was some of the same things. To be honest, I think it was a fight of desperation. You know what I'm saying? Fighting with a little bit of desperation. If you've been in boxing for a while, you can tell when somebody's fighting with some desperation, trying to get a guy out of there, trying to do too much. You understand? Like, but man, he did it. You know what I'm saying? Did his thing, did what he had to do. Everybody would say, "Hey, he was supposed to knock that guy in the second round." I get it, but you know, Banana's been places. You feel me? He's been a lot of places. So that's not a guy that you can just knock out, but not with Jesus Ramos style and the way he was. His temperament. His temperament was more like a rush type of temperament. So that can get you
Okay.
tired real quick, especially if you haven't been in the ring in a minute.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, do you think that he felt maybe some sort of pressure to perform, and that kind of affected him, maybe exhausted him a little bit?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
These guys, they listen to our stuff, and they feel like, damn, come out to the, I gotta come out, I gotta go in with it, I gotta blast through this guy, and it ain't like that. You gotta stay focused. You know what I'm saying? Don't listen to the media. You know, maybe that got in Jesus Ramos' head. You gotta blast him and go through. Man, listen to your team. I'm sure his team told him to come out, do his
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, and I think, I mean, listen, he is he's a really humble, solid dude. I've had the pleasure of speaking to him plenty of times. Always makes time, and I don't know, like, it just, you know, you get to the point, and he's not old or nothing like that. It's just that I think that he was feeling the pressure because there's so many killers out in junior middleweight, and so many great fights that can be made, that, obviously he wants to be part of that. But in order to be part of that, you got to look good. And maybe he might have been forcing himself a little bit.
Well, you know, he puts himself in a position where he can be a Jamel Charlo's comeback fight. So
Mm,
you know, you know,
mm. Okay. I like that fight.
you know how it goes.
Yeah. I like that fight. Hey, listen, he ain't saying nothing, but he's saying everything, ladies and gentlemen. Just pay attention. Listen to the
A little bit,
jewels.
a little
All
bit.
right. The next fight, it was like barn burner, right? Cruz and Fierro. One thing about Isaac Pitbull Cruz that I think kind of messed with him, his psyche a little bit, was that, boy was taking his shots. Um, and he didn't necessarily go down. Fierro was in shape, bro. He was in shape
I like that
when
guy.
when he said he was ready for this fight. Like, everybody say they're ready, but he was in shape to be able to
Yeah,
take some of those punches and not, you know what I mean, and not get, put to sleep, bro.
yeah,
What
good
did you think?
legs.
Yeah, and what did you think of that fight? And did you maybe see Cruz regress a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I feel like it was almost the same thing like Jesus Ramos, man. He's fighting with desperation, man, trying to get these guys out of it, trying to get this guy out of it. These guys are coming to fight. I understand that the B side opponents, Jason Rosario, this other guy, um, like Fierro, yo, these guys coming in shape to fight because they know one win can get them into another position to make some money, closer to a world title, a big fight, anything. You understand? And Cruz, he was just trying to knock this guy out, and this guy took it. He came in shape. He did his road work. He did what he had to do. But what was fun about the fight was you actually saw Cruz having to dig down. You never see Cruz dig
Mm,
down. He had to dig down and go to that place. Because my thing was always like, Cruz, he's used to knocking guys out and being that bull. But can he take it? Can he give it right back? Can he go to the burger? Can he fight to the death? And it proved that he was ready to go all the way with it. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Cruz and that big fight. But he needs to get back. I mean, the thing is this, man. With a kid like Cruz, it's not what you can teach him. It's how you guys. That's how they approach a fight.
hmm.
Cause what you gonna teach him? He coming in there to knock shit out. You know what I'm saying? But he gotta know when to knock shit out. Take your time. When, like you see in the beginning of his career, he was, he'll go to body, slow you down, so and then just start throwing them big motherfucking shots. This time he was trying to go all out. That dude Fierro wasn't playing games. He was there to fight. So I don't
Now,
know.
now, now, did he do enough to, let's say, merit a rematch with Tank?
No, he not fighting Tank ever again. It's not happening no more. That ship sailed, and if it does come back around, that's because Tank was just one of the, what I'm saying, just easy little, there ain't nothing there for him. You feel me? It's
Yeah.
not. It's nothing there for him. I see. Cruz fighting the winner um of Rio
Mm,
and this other kid Russell. So
yeah.
that's what I
Which
see
is
more.
which is a good fight, which is a really good
Yes,
fight.
it is. Yes, it is.
Um, the next one, the Stephen Fulton Jr. versus Brandon Figueroa. Um, I was under the impression, especially coming into it, that Figueroa was going to be a little more dominant this time, and I know you had said, hey, Stephen Fulton Jr. He's gonna come out victorious. Um, I just didn't realize, not that I didn't realize, but I just wasn't ready for that version of Brandon Figueroa to come out. And he looked flat, like I've never, not I've never seen, but he looks super flat. Now that could be a credit to Stephen Fulton Jr. and the things that he was doing,
It is.
but that could also be, whatever else he's got going on internally. What did you think of Stephen Fulton Jr.'s performance, and did people maybe overanalyze his last one, which kind of motivated him for this one?
Yo, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Yo, Steve Fulton, he's from Philly, right? Yo, he's from Philly, but he came out with motherfucking jean shorts and
Tim's.
Tim's, my dude. Like he was like from on his New York shit. He was on his East Side shit. You feel me? He was on the East Side shit. There was no way Brandon Figueroa was losing. Brandon Figueroa could have been in his prime. He was not losing. He was not losing to Brandon Figueroa. Steve Fulton was coming with that heat. You saw his clothes, all that shit. He came in shape. He got beat by anyway. Who gives a fuck, right? He made a big bunch of money. What comes with a lot of money? A lot of problems. More money, more problems. Guess what? Mess with him mentally. Everybody saying, damn, he's not doing so well. He got dropped in his last fight, whatever. Guess what? When you're back against the wall and you're a fucking dog and you got to do what you got to do, a guy like Stephen Fulton is the guy that you got to watch. And that's what he did. He came right back and he did his thing perfectly. Brandon Figueroa, you can't take nothing away from him. He's a really good fighter. One of the best out there. He would give anybody fucking issues. He would probably beat anybody else that night. But he was not beating a Stephen Fulton that was wearing Timberlands. I'll tell you that shit right now. The Timberlands gave him like a 10%, 50%, 10% chance of stamina and power, bro. Because guess what? He was cracking, bro. He wasn't Steve Fulton was stopping with that crack. And a lot of people that was doubting him and all. I don't like that shit. That shit was corny, but schoolboy, he took him to school and shout out to Steve Fulton.
Nah, that's what's up, man. Yeah, I think he did his thing, man, and then I have to think about, like, where does he go next?
He's up. It's up for him.
What's crazy is that if he does it, plays it right, he could very well get the in-way rematch at 126 for like all the belts.
It can happen because anyway could say, hey, I could just get this guy out of there too. Again,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? But you moving up in weight, Stephen Fulton could be do different things, and
Uh-huh.
anyway, in certain fights, I don't know. But I wouldn't mind seeing that shit. A lot of people, he
Mm-hmm.
got blown out well. He looked good his last fight, and it's a different weight. Let's see what happens, right? Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. And we'll see. We'll see how it goes, man.
Marquez sent Pacquiao to Manila. And they fought a different weight class than their first fights, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The main event, right? David Benavidez, David Morrell. Um, David Morrell showed that if whoever maybe questioned that whether or not he belonged at that level, he answered it loud and freaking clear. He
Big,
belongs at that level. It's
big.
just that there's another level above the level that he was at, and it's called David Benavidez. And David Benavidez took it to that other level, and he was able to do some great things in there. Even though, I still think that Benavidez needs to kind of work on that, those spots where he squares himself up and is in a position to be off balance. Like, he does that a lot. I don't know if that's a habit that he'll be able to break. But regardless, like, he did his thing, he dominated. But Morrell was there. Morrell, stunned him a few times. That knockdown wasn't a knockdown, really. It was more of a trip. But man, it was a great action fight. And I think that Morrell did the things that we talked about that he should be doing. But again, as we also said, it's hard to do that for 12 rounds against a guy that keeps coming forward. What did you think overall of the fight?
First, I'm gonna talk about Morrell. Morrell is nasty, bro. He's one of the fastest fighters at his weight class. You don't see nobody, yo, bro. He's throwing. You gotta understand. He's so fast. He's throwing, bing, bing, bing. He's throwing 1-2 ones up, catching Benavidez. Fast shots at that weight class. That motherfucker's hands is fast, bro. You know what I'm saying? And he's good. He's strong. He's durable and everything. It's just David Benavidez was too much. It was a different level. But guess what? He went all the way. He went all the
Hmm.
way. He ain't get he ain't get knocked down, dropped, and buzzed all over the place. Nah, he went all the way with it. You understand? And you got to give big credit to Morrell, and he will become a world champion. I could bet everything that he's going to be world champion. Now, David Benavidez,
Hmm.
I'm gonna tell you, David Benavidez is the most entertaining fighter in boxing right now. I don't give a fuck about any other fighters. David Benavidez is the most entertaining fighter out there right now. They're not there. His punch volume, he's coming, he's getting hit he's getting hit back and forth. Okay, he gets squared up a little bit, but it works for him because it puts himself in position to let off his shots different. Some guys they do bad things. Like Ali, he does bad things with his hands down too much, but it worked for him. That works with David Benavidez. He might get clipped one day. It's happened before, but guess what? It's been working for him. David Benavidez is the most entertaining fighter in the world right now. What the fuck is gonna happen? I don't know who he's fighting next. If he fights Benavidez, I don't know if that really happens, man. Him and Terrence Crawford should get it shaken then. Since Crawford ain't fighting Canelo, who knows? I don't know. Do y'all want to fight the same guys or fight like Floyd said? I heard him say that shit. Fight each other. But man, David Benavidez is the best fighter right now in his weight class, and I don't care who says anything.
And it's funny you talked about Crawford. Like Turkey did ask David Benavidez to fight Crawford, but at 160. And Benavidez is like crazy. I
Benavidez
can't
can't
make no
fit it.
160.
Dave Benavidez hasn't been 160 since he was born, bro. How you going to ask him to be? You ain't seen them Ellie setback videos. Dave Benavidez is not
Oh,
going down to 160, bro. You gonna
oh
have to give that
man.
man a half a bill for that. You heard? It's not
Bruh.
happening.
Let me tell you. Hey, listen, before we move on, if anybody wants to come in and comment, go onto the YouTube page. The link is pinned at the top of the comments. You can come in, ask your question, talk your shit, whatever you want to do. You don't got to show your face. You could just put the voice. Or if you just want to watch, you could watch. So either way, we're on X, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube right now. Shout out to the 125 people that is in here with us.
Shout out to
Let's
them on
keep
a Friday.
Yeah, on a Friday. Let's keep it rocking. End of the day, where does Benavidez go from here, and where does Morrell go from here?
I think Morrell goes to a place where he separates himself from David Benavidez and those people, and then he looks to catch a fight like a killer playing and all these other guys and stuff like that. You understand? And but I believe David Morrell puts himself in a position where, okay, I'm gonna come back, fight, and I want to at least fight for a belt. I don't know if David Benavidez is gonna be around. It doesn't matter, but I want to fight for a belt. He deserves a title shot, big time no matter what. I believe that guy is going to become world champion. Now, David Benavidez, he's in a position, he's a little bit in a confusing position, bro, because there's so many fights for him that can make, but guess what? They're not happening. They're not
Yeah.
getting him. What's he going to keep doing? Fighting the same guys over and over? You know what I'm saying? So,
Apparently he was supposedly he was promised better BF Bivol winner.
and if that fight happens, that would be awesome. Okay. It would be awesome. It would be awesome. It would be awesome. I don't know, man. It would be awesome. This shit is real, man. That's a
Yeah,
real fight right there.
that is a
Against
real
any of
fight.
those guys. David versus Bivol, David versus any of those guys, man.
Yeah. Yo, shout out to Mr. Boxing Guru. He said, look at these wapples. Hey, listen, for people
Shout
that
out to
don't
him.
know,
Mr. Guru.
Sal, Mr. Boxing Guru,
I remember Sal, man.
he does the shirts, he does the hats, the dope like Japanese hats or whatever. It says boxing. Check him out on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Mr. Boxing Guru. You DM him, you order the hats and the shirts, and he'll ship it right to you.
My
Easy,
hat, bro.
reliable, and fast. So we gotta get Zach Ochoa a hat. I'll hit you up, Sal, and we gotta get Zach a hat over there. All right. Let's see. Moving on. I want to talk about some New York shit right here.
What's the New
Teofimo,
York shit?
Teofimo Lopez and your boy Africa, Richardson Hitchens. Um, I talked to the WBO president, Gustavo Olivieri,
Look
and
at you.
yeah, and for those that want to watch that interview, it's on my YouTube at AG Boxing, and we were talking about that. He said that I guess the hotel female situation was unsure as far as who he was fighting, so they went ahead and put the interim title up for the Barbosa Catterall fight, but that the winner has to face Teofimo within 6 months, right? Now, the only thing that will delay that would
But
be
see if he has a belt, right?
if he fights Africa, right? And they do a unification, obviously. But then after that, he would have to fulfill the obligation. Hence why they have the interim, which by the way, Gustavo says that he is not a fan of the interim titles and he tries to have he during his presidency, he will try to have the minimum amount of interim titles. Um, they went back and forth and continue to go back and forth for social media. This past week, they did that. Hitchens, made a tweet, did a tweet and commented like I guess he rejected the offer that they sent him. Teo was like, that probably the most money he's ever made, this, that, third. If you're Hitchens, and I know the Teo female fight is big, but is there a point where you maybe gamble on yourself a little bit and take less, or do you have to like go for the max now, and if the tail fight falls apart because of it, it's oh well.
The thing is this, bro. Richardson Hitchens, he's a champ. He's a world champion as well, man. They gotta stop disrespecting him like he ain't a world champion. Motherfucker's a world champion right now. But if that, I don't understand why they it can't. It could, I'm not sure, but they're making it seem like that's Africa's only option right now.
Mm,
So my thing is this: y'all talking shit. If you believe in yourself and you can take a little bit less, and you know you can win, and you take a little less. How many of these people done that in the past where they got to take less in order to get to where you got to get to? You got
hmm
to eat some shit before you get up there to eat the steaks. You got to do that and prove to everybody you the best. Whether Africa has to take less and prove that he's the best and beat Tiafimo, or say, yo, nah, man, I work my ass off for this belt. I want to get full max because what if I don't come out on top? You know what I'm saying? At least I made good money. Teofimo Lopez is not a fucking walk in the park. Understand? I don't care what anybody says. He's not a walk in the park. He give anybody issues, and he is not the guy. You got a better chance being a guy with 1,000 losses and to beat Teofimo Lopez than you got being a top fighter, world champion right now. Because Teofimo, he gets up for those good fights,
hmm
so it's hard. It is a gamble, but. Not saying Africa can't win. Africa could probably take him to school, make him look stupid all night with a jab. He got a good jab, Africa. I seen him before. So I don't know, man. It's a tough situation. I personally think that it would be better for Africa to get a title defense and then fight Teofimo Lopez.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? It can happen anytime. But guess what? Teofimo Lopez, he's in a totally different situation that we don't know about. Maybe you know what I'm saying with his contracts and all that stuff. We don't know if he'll even be able to fight the winner of Catterall and all that stuff. But I'm not sure. It's a little situation that a lot of people don't know about, and I can't really talk too much about. I'm just say how I feel, and I think they should both fight guys next and then fight each other.
mm. So you mean kind of
in
be
Madison
like
Square
on the same,
Gardens.
yeah, like a same card situation, kind of. And that wouldn't be so bad. Like, get a fight where they're both on there in New York. Maybe Hitchens can kind of get his crowd up a little bit more, and then
Yeah,
try to do
man.
it at that point.
Yeah, man. That's what they need to do. That's what they
Mm.
should do. But they're talking so much shit. They're almost making it become hot now, where it's like, okay, we want to see these guys fight. So guess what? If they keep on doing that, y'all gotta chill and y'all gotta fight. Shut the fuck up and fight now, cause y'all making it so hot. Nobody's gonna want to see y'all fight nobody else. Then y'all people gonna want to see only you guys fight. Like that time when Tevin Farmer and Javante Davis was going at it all the time on social media. Yo, bro, if they would have fought at that, yo, everybody would
Hot,
have went there. Hot,
hot.
but it never happened. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm talking about. Get it while it's hot. If not, y'all gotta move y'all separate ways, man. You know what I'm
And you know
saying?
what
Focus.
though? I know, and I'm gonna get back to what you were saying, but now that you mentioned that, like, even though it was hot at one point, I still think that if you do Tank and Tevin Farmer next, and especially if Tevin Farmer like wins his next fight, if he beats Zepeda, I still think that
You
that
still
fight is
could do it,
hot in
but
the
they gotta start
DMV.
talking. They gotta start talking shit again. You
Yeah,
ain't
but I
see
think
that in
I
a
think
minute.
Farmer got to beat Zepeda first, and then he
Yeah,
has something to
you
say.
gotta
You know what I
beat a
mean?
good guy. Cepeda is not a walk in the park, but say that they took it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
Cepeda
yeah,
got his ass. So,
yeah. Farmer put them paws on him. Like,
yes, he did.
yeah. So
Or because you ain't got power, that don't mean you can't hurt him. And he hurt this dude, bro. People don't
yeah,
understand. These are grown ass men punching each other in the face. Every punch hurts. Doesn't matter if you don't got knockers or not. Every punch hurts.
yeah. And listen, for the 150 people that's in here, yo, tag at Mike Coppinger and tell that dude to come on to the show. He's got the link on his X. Tag him. I just
Tell him
tagged
come in the show, man, so he can talk whatever he got to talk or say whatever he needs
Yeah,
to say,
yeah.
man.
And then I also tagged tail female Richardson Hitchens. Listen, you got two New York cats here. Come on through,
Yeah,
talk your
man.
shit, clear the air, and then we'll go from there. Speaking of New York dudes, it looks like I got somebody in here. Let me see. Oh, there he is.
Oh shit. Yeah, what's up, man? What's good, Mike?
How you doing, Zach?
What's
How
going
you
on,
doing,
man?
Abe?
What's up? What's up?
Thanks for calling me New York guy, because I'm, kind of half or three quarters or what. I was thinking of that. I went out to get at my favorite diner some lunch. I had a bowl of chicken and rice soup. See, I'm always telling Abe what I'm eating because he's that sort of come on Woods now, come on. And I put a squirt of lemon in there. And then I went to get my older girl olives, and I spent fucking $9.31 on olives at Union Market.
Yeah.
And but then I looked at my phone, and I said, "You guys are taping," and I said, "That's two New York dudes." And I'm kind of a New York dude because when I saw Abe say, "Hey, Coppinger, you could pop in, you could tap in," I said, "I want to fucking tap in."
You tap in.
Yeah, so I did. How you doing, guys?
Yo,
Good,
first
good,
of
good.
all, you know this motherfucker's in New York, a New York guy, when he got his AC in the middle of his wall, bro, middle of a brick
Yeah, you
wall,
don't fucking take that. Why am I
in
going
the
to take that
brick
out?
wall, and he got the cardboard underneath it to lift it up, make sure with probably like a candle holding it on the bottom.
So you know what that is? That's garbage bags and bags to pick up the dog's shit too
Yeah,
over there.
man.
Hey, Woodsy, we're talking about Tail Fimo, Richardson Hitchens, right? New York shit. You and Tail Fimo, and I would say even Hitchens go back
Yep.
to when they were young guns. I mean,
Enough fucking time has passed where those guys both came on Talk Box when Teofimo
I
when he
was
was
just gonna say that.
9-0,
Uh-huh.
and Rich Hitch really early on, and so that's why as you guys were talking about that, I was like, oh shit, okay, yeah. Rich Hitch has kind of figured out, Zach was saying it, how to play this, how to spice up this social media, maybe get some interest going, talking himself more so into a fight. Some it could be an element of trolling. I'll be honest with you. I don't really know how much does he really fucking believe himself when he says shit like, I want to be the best ever and shit. I don't know. So I don't know how much he's playing with us and playing social media and trying to advance himself into a more meaningful and moneyful fight. But would I want to see it? Yes. And I think not a lot of people maybe are going to admit this because they're too cool for school. But Rich Hitch hasn't always been the most fan-friendly and fun fighter for me to watch. So I'm thinking some other people feel the same way and wouldn't mind seeing him get beat. You know what I mean? And, that's a way to make money. That's a way to make money. Tune in to either see me win or fucking hopefully lose. Of course. That's a way to do it too. So.
And that's the thing with, I think also, Richardson Hitchens is a little bit scarred because me and Zach were talking about this before he got his title shot. We were like, well, where is Africa's shot? Like, it took so long for him to get the shot that I feel like he's a little scarred by it. And then now
was that all any of his own fault or doing?
Probably.
Yes. signing with Mayweather, who was more intent on, and fucking Floyd will tell you really if you were forced to answer, he was more interested in sort of building himself up than promoting other people. And then now Eddie Hearns, right? And Eddie has more influence in UK more than pull here. So, hey, I think he's, all that aside, I think he's done well because he's still young. This is a business of attrition, meaning you can sometimes just sit there and do nothing more than be there and continue in the game while other people drop off. Other people age out, get a little bit older, and that leaves you in a position to where Richardson is right now. He's not an all-time great, but he's hung around, slick, defensive-minded. It's going to be better for him down the line when he gets old, etc., right? He fights in that Mayweather influence style. That's great. It doesn't excite me too much, though.
Mm-hmm.
So
Pugilist more than fighter. I'm sorry, not sorry. I prefer Zach as a fighter. Not to say he doesn't have pugilistic, but right? And I tune in. I want to see fights.
Yeah,
Zach, go ahead.
I think you hit some good points, man. You definitely hit some good points that also make me also want to say that I think since he was signed, since Africa signed to Mayweather and all these people and things didn't work out and everything, I truly believe it made him a better fighter because he got closer to Gervonta Davis. Then he got closer to Shakur Stevenson and to all these guys that if it wasn't for him being around these guys, he wouldn't be where he is now. If he wasn't around the Terence Crawfords and because Africa put himself in those positions, he wasn't the most talented kid at all. He wasn't the most spectacular, outspoken kid out of the bunch, out of Sosa's gym. He was not. He was the hard work.
You know who was? You know who was more so?
Yeah.
Colbert. Chris Colbert was. He was that
flash in the pan. Flash in the pan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But guess what? Africa, he stood focused. He said, I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm sharpening my tools. I'm taking a little thing from everybody, a little bit of this from this person, this from this person, this from this person. I used to support Africa before he even had 10 fights. And he would be doing certain stuff that Tank was trying to do and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what got him better. He became even better. Now he's a world champion. I want to see him get a big payday, of course, but I also want to see him get a title defense. But it's going to be hard to get big fights with that style you have. And with that marketability.
Would force the issue and force a fight, right? That fight.
The right competitor, I would say.
Match up and he has to be really pushed and matched hard because he's super skilled. Defense is first and prime. I'm going to say defense is primary on his mind, right? He's going to be a hard one to beat. He's going to outbox you. He's going to outbox a lot of people because he's, like you said, seasoned and defensive-minded. We're spending a lot of freaking time talking about him, so I guess he's winning.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Subriel Matias is fighting a title eliminator, and that's the type of fighter that
What fight is that? What title is
uh,
that? IBF?
for the IBF for Hitchens title.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah, who's Matias fighting in that again?
I can't remember this
It's
guy's
not a
name.
known name,
No,
right?
they just announced it, but I mean, he's
Yeah.
a solid guy. But this is the thing, Matias is the type of fighter that he is going to force Hitchens to fight if they do it.
Yes.
And then we're gonna really see like either we're gonna see a next level Hitchens or we're gonna see Hitchens run out of
It's just
gas.
the thing is this. People
Tested.
say, "Oh, all because he beat this guy, he's gonna beat this dude worse." No, styles make fights.
Right.
So you
Yeah.
just never know what could happen.
Yeah, and I mean, the whole thing with Teofimo, I don't know, like, if it may, I think he cares about having that WBO strap, but I don't think he's like completely married to it. And if worse comes to worse, if he has to get stripped, I think he'll deal with it as
Yo, I'm gonna
just
be
as long
honest.
as he has that Ring
I don't,
magazine.
I don't know. Oh well, that's different. He has a Ring magazine. Okay,
Yeah,
but I'm gonna be honest. There's two guys that don't look good without belts, and that's Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez.
Mm.
When they don't have belts, nobody really cares about them no more. You got to really think about that.
You think Haney and Teofimo on the same level as far as
They're
that
the
goes?
same. They're the same level of fans. Nobody cares to see Devin Haney fight unless he's fighting a good competitor. Nobody cares to see Teofimo Lopez fight unless he's fighting a good competitor. People cared
Yeah,
about when Teofimo was with Top Rank doing backflips in the middle of the ring, just dancing and stuff. That's when it was hot, when he was on the undercards and stuff. But now it's just a dry spell, and they think he's crazy.
Yeah,
But he's a great fighter.
he's a very streaky fighter, isn't he?
mm-hmm.
That's on
But
him.
Devin Haney needs to be fighting Teofimo Lopez. Them two need to be fighting, but that's a whole different story. He's trying to get Ryan Garcia back or whatever it is, man. There's a lot of shit going on, but as long as they all fight each other, it would be great. That's it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, with Tail, man. I don't know, like you just never know what you get from him. But when he is fighting in a big fight, it's exciting. Like
He turns his shit on.
he turns it on.
Turns that shit the fuck on, and it's nice to see that.
All right, listen, this is a perfect segue to another New York guy that is fighting actually tomorrow, and it's
Bruce.
way under the radar. That's Otto Wallin. He is fighting Derek Ward Chisora tomorrow, which is titled The Last Dance.
Last dance for who? Chisora's gonna fight till he's 80.
I like this guy.
Yeah, go ahead, Zach.
I don't know where these guys come from with this New York stuff. Where these guys is born, bro?
Well, no, he was born out of
born
country,
in
but
Sweden, bro.
he's lived in New York.
Okay,
Yeah, he's lived in New York for 10 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, yo, man, Derek Chisora, I'll watch him fight forever. I don't care. He throwing tables. He's doing whatever the fuck he wants. But just don't sleep on this Otto guy. You heard? He can fight, and he's tough. He's not a pussy, man. You understand? And Derek Chisora has a lot of chips and cracks in his armor right now as an old vet. But at the same time, he's hard. He gets in there. If he feels that you got that a little bit of timidness and you can't crack, you're gonna have a real big fucking problem on your hands.
Yeah.
What's the odds on this one, Abe? What's the odds? Do you know?
I'm gonna bring it to you right now. But while I do
I
that,
think Chisora,
Woods,
think Wallin is probably a 3-1 favorite or so.
I think he was 3-1. But Woods, while I'm looking that up, what do you make of, or do we make anything of, Wallin only having one round fought in 13 or 14 months?
You said it yourself, I think, in a post. Didn't you say like an interesting career he's had?
Yeah.
You did in one of your stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say it's worked out very well for him. He is another one. Attrition. If you stay in the game long enough, other people will get knocked out, get arrested, they'll get beat right, etc., etc. Be a good citizen. Otto, I think, is 34 years old now. He's coming. This is another thing we all have talked about here. That time when you become known, it takes a long time to become a known entity. Otto has kind of been along long enough to be a known entity, which is why, I mean, certainly amongst hardcores like us, and which is why we were like, whoa, this fight's under the radar. Right? A couple days ago, it's like, wait, who's fighting?
They're going to say somebody's getting knocked
that's
out.
still throwing me. That's still messing with me. The American game, I need it to be raised. I need Top Rank back in fighting form on platforms. I need PBC on platforms, getting dates. Because we're talking about this fight. We want this one to be made, that one to be made.
We don't even know where they're going to be at.
Still in a mode where they're only fighting once a year. It's not optimal, guys.
Yeah. Now, listen. Quickly on the odds before we expand on that a little more. So Derek Chisora is at plus 180. So Wallin is at minus 225, so almost 3-1.
Yep.
Chisora by KO
right.
plus 550. Chisora by decision plus 350. Now Wallin by KO TKO is at plus 190, and by decision is at plus 160.
Yo, they're tripping. Yo, Chisora.
Tell me what should it be? What should it be? Why are they tripping? What should it be, Zach?
I don't know, man, but I think it should be way higher. You think Chisora's going to beat this dude by decision? Chisora's going to, if Chisora's going to win, he's going to win by knockout. He's not going to win by decision. He's going to win by knockout.
Yeah, I think Abe, you picked when you said, "Hey, he's had one round in a while." It's funny enough, Chisora, who is like has a lot of tread on the tire, actually could be in better shape because he's been fighting more frequently than Otto. So I might roll a little dice on the old Chisora. He's a gangster and a badass.
Or Otto Wilder might just knock him out because maybe Chisora just got hit with the Munguia syndrome. Fought too early, fought too much, too quick, and his body's not feeling good.
I don't know that Otto has that pop. Otto,
I know. This is true. This is true. That's true.
I just with Otto, I don't know. The inactivity showed against the Joshua fight, and then he came right back and had a first round knockout or whatever. But I don't know. Like I think that I don't know if Otto can show that the Otto that fought Tyson Fury in Vegas that night. That probably should have gotten the decision.
That was the best ever. That was we not seeing that guy probably again. He was on cloud 9. That was the opportunity. There wasn't heavy pressure on him either going in. Expectations were very low. People like, oh, Fury's fighting for in America early on. He's gonna wallet. He fought to the upside very well, and he's 34 years old. And Derek Chisora will be in the top 3 foes that he's ever been presented with. Dude, you know who he fought last fight? Honorariode Erwariom. No, I don't know him either.
Who's that guy?
Yeah, Murat Gassiev before that, who is old and hasn't been fighting. Helaman Olquin before that. Rydell Booker, Kamil Sokolowski. Dmitry Salita did a real good job. And managers and promoters did a real good job getting Otto to the place where he got the AJ fight, and which, by the way, I'm probably pretty sure he made enough to salt away. And I'm not saying never have to work again, but nice little stash over there. And you guys know what that means. Once you have that stash and that understanding. That's in the back of my mind. I'm 34 years old and fucking I'm getting thumped by this old motherfucker Chisora. What's going on? Subconsciously, I got that bank account. I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't want this.
Yo, I'm telling you,
that can happen at any time when you're 34.
Mike is literally doing it. The fucking you getting hit by this motherfucker Chisora. Bing, bing, bing. You're like,
I don't need this.
And he's talking shit to you, and his mustache is scraping your fucking shoulder.
Fucking smells, his breath smells, everything.
Now, Zach, I got a question for you. How does Derek Chisora win this fight?
Straight pressure, man. Straight pressure. Good jab to the chest. Good feints. Good feints.
Not
Straight
going
pressure, good
nowhere.
jab to the
Not going on anywhere
That's
for
it.
round after round after
That's
round.
it. Good pressure with the feet, all of it on Wallin's ass, like straight up, like not give because he has longer arms. He could just boop, boop. Not happening. Fight, keep it on the inside, stay in his chest. That's how it's in there.
It sounds
Now,
like we're all sort of on the same wavelength. And if I don't know how much y'all are actually betting people, I'm not, but maybe we should pool in a little money and put it on the Chisora, right?
Oh, I'm putting bread.
Team podcast, little throw in.
Hey,
Yeah.
Hey Woods, what is, and you know, you've seen plenty of Wallin in the past. What does he have to do at this stage, or what does he have to do to win that he can do at this stage of his career?
Move. Use the reach, right? Keep Chisora at bay, which is fucking doable. It could be doable for the entire, I think it's a 10-rounder, right? It absolutely could be. But I wouldn't go overboard betting on it either way. Kind of a fun, interesting little crossroadsy fight. Not for Chisora, who's going to keep fighting till he's fucking 80, but for Otto. Possible real crossroads fight.
You gotta remember why he can do that,
old.
You know why he can do that? Because he has the fans watching him.
Yeah.
He has a crazy fan base.
Yeah, UK fans are better, more passionate, and more in numbers than United States.
They keeping his pockets healthy, so he will fight.
Yeah,
and guess what? He gives a good bang for the buck. He gives you fucking value. He's always throwing. He's chirping before, so he makes the lead up interesting. He got out on a little fucking headlock there yesterday. So yeah, this was on the radar, but I'm a little bit interested in this one.
And like you said, he knows how to work the crowd, right? Like when he came out with the Zhilei Zhang face mask, right? Like, you know, people, that's what they want to see. They want to be entertained, and he knows how to do that each and every time. He's saying that this is the last one. I don't know. Like, I guess.
You know the Who, the rock group, the Who.
Yeah.
They had their first farewell tour in 1981.
He's
doing it.
He's like
every 2 years you can do a going out of business goodbye.
I was just gonna say that.
They forget, you do it again.
Yeah. He's like that old furniture store. You got the sign says going out of business. Everything on
going
sale.
Out of business. Oriental Rug. Man, when you guys ever been in business?
Yeah, this shit is crazy. All right. Let's go with.
Where's Coppinger?
Yeah, where is Coppinger? Everybody does.
Turki, you're invited. Coppinger, you're invited. Who else is invited?
Anybody and everybody. If you want to drop in the comment, talk your shit. There's 211.
Come on, who's scared? You scared of Zach? You scared of Abe? You scared of me? Look at me. I got a winter hat on inside. I got the AC. Come on in, you bums.
There's 211 people watching. We appreciate you guys. Let's go into the hot topic, which is Canelo Alvarez. It's like off and on and off and on and this and that. And then finally, in the wee hours of the night on some MLB winter meetings, Yankees, Red Sox, Texas Rangers, Alex Rodriguez situation, you know, you get the phone call, and all of a sudden, you know, Canelo Alvarez signs a 4-fight deal with Turki Al-Sheikh. Then, you know, what did I call it? Backhand Fridays came in, and Backhand Fridays was officially established when Jake Paul came in and said what he said. And I'm gonna quickly read what he said because I think it's important that we do that. He says that MVP was in deep negotiations for a blockbuster fight between Jake Paul and Canelo for Cinco de Mayo weekend in Las Vegas. Main event, blah, blah, blah. He said the situation is a reminder not to believe everything you read, especially when the current media environment is often controlled by those with hidden agendas, including promoters who have reporters on their payrolls.
Who that? Who that?
Ooh.
Ain't me. I can show you my receipts. It ain't me. Who's getting them payments now?
Ooh,
You, Abe?
No, it's certainly not me.
Getting them
Man,
payments now.
that was a dagger. But listen, let's go into this first. Jake Paul and Canelo Alvarez was supposed to fight on Netflix. That's what they were trying to aim for. People were shitting on it. Some people were like, "Oh, we'll watch it, whatever." I'm gonna go to you, Zach, for a second. Do you think that Canelo pivoting from Paul to the Saudis, outside of the financial benefits, is the better move for him?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because then you'll have everyone talking shit. Every single person that you've talked shit to, they say, oh, that's bullshit, this bullshit. That's not real boxing. That's not real boxing. That's not this. That's not the sport that I live and die for. That's not this. And then all the other people you're not fighting, oh my God, you going to fight Jake Paul? Forget about it. You're going to get buried by the media, by everybody, but who cares, right? You made $1 billion, right? But still, right? With your legacy and all the money you still already have, a 4-fight deal with Turkey is the much better deal because Turkey actually is putting out great fights together, great boxing fights, not porqueria circus. I'm talking about real boxing fights. And Canelo Alvarez is a person I don't want to see in no fucking circus fight. I want to see him in only the real fights and stick to his word like he's always been. Boxing his life.
And before I go to you, Woods, and I'm going to ask you one more thing, Zach. Do you think that deep down inside, even with all the accomplishments and the money that Canelo has, that public perception within his people still matter to him?
Yeah, big, big, big. That's why he gets so mad when people talking shit because he doesn't want to be looked at as a guy not taking fights. But he's got this also. It's two things. He's done so much already that he's like, man, fuck this shit, man. You know. But at the same time, he's like, nah, man, these people talking shit. I can't go and fight Jake Paul. Fuck that. Let me go with the real fights, depending who he's gonna fight. You understand?
Yeah, yeah. Now, Woodsy, they're talking about May, bunch of names: Bruno Sarashi, Jamal Charlo. The who's going to be lined up, waiting to see if, or I should say, campaigning to see if they can get that fight in May. What do what do you think of that fight, or who he's going to fight in May? Like, do we see a high risk fight? Because, and the reason why I asked that is because I don't see Turkey being the guy that's going to pay Canelo a bunch of money to fight like a B- guy. He's going to want to get his money's worth, even if he's fighting Crawford in
They
September.
already know who he's fighting.
What do you think?
Remember who was Canelo's first fight in the DAZN deal?
Oh shit! It was the MSG one, wasn't it?
Rocky Fielding.
MSG.
Right. Expect something comparable. I was thinking, Abe, as you asked Zach for his take on it, what would I say? And I said, I'm going to wuss out a little bit. I'm going to say it's to be determined until we see who the frick he fights. Now, Turki is a guy who wants the best, right? He wants the biggest fights. If he has put together this deal and Canelo has agreed to it, and one of the fights is not David Benavidez, then that's a bit of a problem. Mm-hmm. That's the primary one that people have been wanting for 3 years. And you don't think that's high on the list of what Turkey wants? So jury's going to be out for me, the success or lack thereof on this one, until we see who he fights. If it was me and I was Canelo, I'm not no hair, not red hair, no nothing. But I'm thinking to myself, why not fight Jake Paul, get that out of the way, then come back to Turkey and do all the serious business? Was Turkey's offer contingent upon that not happening?
Nah, man. Because guess what? Turkey ain't for that. He's against the circus. So if you go with the circus, he's gonna
Right.
go. That opportunity for you is done. You want 20 Lambos outside your house? Nah, I ain't fucking with you.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if it was if it was a line in the sand by Turkey. Maybe Canelo had came back to him and said what you suggested. Yo, let me get this Jake Paul thing done, and then I'm gonna circle back with you and do that deal.
Yeah.
Maybe Turkey was like, nah, player, you either gonna do this deal or nothing.
It is a
Because
guarantee that it was
does
that,
it
bro.
feel to you like the Jake Paul strata with the Saudis is getting meaner and more serious? We're seeing these allegations, these insinuations of fucking writers on payroll and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that ain't a work. I don't think so. That's real. So
It is real.
yeah.
And it's trash that we even talking about Jake Paul in this real boxing situation. Like it's real weird. You understand? But he brings crowds, he brings entertainment and all of it. And so you have to put him right there with this circus, right? But I don't put him
Bro,
in
he's
with
the
the
best
real,
known
with the
boxer
real.
in the United States right now. We don't have to like it. We don't have to accept it. Listen, I was in my diner yesterday and talking to a guy who knows about some boxing. He asked me about, who's fighting Barclays Center March 1st? Gervonta. I want to go to that, right? He's at that level. And we were talking about Canelo versus Jake Paul, and I was talking about myself covering the sport and how sometimes it's hard. And I told him, this was just yesterday, I told him why. By the way, this guy is about Abe's age, approximately, little older than you, Zach. But I said, man, I don't want to be the guy who's like, these newfangled fights, Jake Paul, fuck that shit. The good old days, fucking Hagler against Hearns, it'll never come back. No, it will never come back. We'll never get that again at that same level. The shit has changed too much. Money fucks it up now. You're going to maybe get that by mistake on the way up with some of these fighters, but this mega money fucks things up. I have to accept that. Because if I don't, I just sound like old, whining, middle-aged Mike, pining for the old days. Hagler and Hearns. Get over it, Mike. It's never fucking happening. Enjoy it. But so I try to have that mindset, because otherwise I think I'm risk being sort of obsoleting myself. That doesn't mean I have to love it. I don't know, Zach. Am I being just bullshit, wishy-washy Libra?
No, it's more.
I don't know.
It's more.
I don't
It's
know.
more of you playing the game. You gotta do what you gotta do. Feel me? You gotta do what you gotta do, man. And the one thing about this that I don't care for Jake Paul with his fucking boxing and all this bullshit. I really don't care what he does. I just love what he has done for Amanda Serrano. He fucking changed Amanda Serrano's life, big time, and he put a lot of people in the bright lights, such as boxers, even though some boxers got knocked
women
out.
too. A lot, and by the way, I don't always fucking love it or agree with it. I think a lot of the talents, because of the women's game,
that's what I like about it.
The pool is not that deep. I don't think a lot of the talents are what I'm saying? Come on, let's be honest. Claressa Shields was in against a 5-0 fighter, the greatest of all time. There are 18 women the world over listed at heavyweight. The pool isn't big. It's just not. So
yeah, but look, back
people
to what
aren't
I was
willing to say that so much now. But I'm arguing against myself. I give Jake Paul props. He does not have to lift all those people up like that.
He got. That's what he's doing for the sport. He's literally, even if he's eating a sandwich as the main event, just eating a sandwich in the middle of the ring, he's literally bringing viewers to all the people on the fucking undercards that are real fighters. So you have to give him that respect with that. No, at least he's not doing it where, I'm the main event and that's it. No undercards. He could do that and he'll still sell, right?
I agree.
But guess what? He's giving people opportunities, and that's the only thing I do respect with that.
And Turkey's giving opportunities too. I mean, there's a lot of good. We
getting,
don't
And
want to. I don't want to
not only
focus
that,
exclusively on bad.
boxing.
yeah, and not only that, but
Yeah.
you know, Jake Paul's doing a lot of things boxing related in Puerto Rico with fixing of the gyms. He's got a foundation that's working with the WBO, and they're doing stuff. And so, obviously, you know, he's getting tax breaks and all that over there in Puerto Rico, living there and stuff like that. And there is that benefit. Hey, listen, that comes with it, right? But him doing that and contributing to the island is huge for those people over there.
That's right. It's big.
Yeah. And so listen, looks like we're getting Canelo Crawford in September. But it doesn't look like we're getting Crawford in the ring before that.
Right.
No,
Do you think that that's a mistake? Because that would be he would be 13 months out of the ring by the time they fight in September.
Man, the way Crawford is, he stays in shape, man. He's fucking around with all these kids in his gyms. He's doing his thing. He's on point. It can lead to ring rust. It's different from actually fighting the ring, but the motherfucker got a great team and he's been doing this, bro. And he's on. He'll probably be sparring some guys without his headgear, bro. In the middle, and nobody in the gym. Some good guys without his headgear. Just to stay in shape. He might do that shit twice a year.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fun. Omar Gonzalez says Benavidez ain't no monster; he's a cookie monster. I don't know the way.
If he's a cookie monster, he's a cookie monster. He's I don't know, man. I wouldn't say that.
He's a badass cookie monster.
Yeah, you talking about David Benavidez? He's a motherfucking real monster.
Yeah. Oh man, listen,
guys, that's the one Turki wants. That is the one Turki wants. I think Turki's going to get it.
You know, but he won't get it. If Benavidez gets the better BF Bivol winner, right?
Yeah.
And let's say late of this year.
Yeah, right.
I think that Canelo does get Benavidez, but the last fight of the contract. So that would be the let me see.
September 2026.
No, the October 2026. I think he would get him that in hopes that and you know what? Honestly, the way I'm looking at this, I think this is it for Canelo. After this contract, he's done.
Probably, man.
I think he's done. He's done after this. Is there any like who else is he gonna fight? There's no other reason to stick around at this point.
Hold on, Abe. You've been doing this a long time. I'm surprised. You know what happens. A year passes and they find new people. And they fucking lure you in. And they get you intrigued, man. They know how to do it.
Yeah. They take the clock. Follow my eyes. Follow the watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will buy the pay-per-view, you fucking assholes.
Yeah. Oh, that's been
that's a good thing though. I like that. Prefer to watch Canelo fights $25 per versus 80.
Now hold on. That's a great topic there because we've been talking about pay-per-view prices, right? And I wonder if the Canelo deal is the moment where it creeps back up to what it was before.
Mm-hmm.
What you think, Woodsy?
I don't think so because I think you've been a leader on this, and I think it's meaningful, and I think it's made a dent. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass and what I hope is going to happen versus what I think is going to happen. But no, I think Turki does see the validity of that lower price point. Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't quite understand why he doesn't see the validity of here's the fucking price point. 0. Give it away for free and have the masses turn the fuck in. Monetize it elsewhere. But that's for, am I the grand businessman? No.
Yeah.
We can hope, right? We can hope, all of us as fans who don't like to be ponying up, who don't like to have to, people, do people like fucking tracking down on their Fire Stick and on the fucking streams and getting shady shit. They fucking don't. They don't want. People don't want to do that. Yeah, some people find it easier, or whatever. But I don't know. Give it at a nice low fucking price point, and then get X number more people tuning in. Turkey. That's my fucking call. Why you want it? Why you need to depreciate it at all? Why $25? Make it fucking 10. Make it 0. Make one of them 0 and see what happens. Maybe I'm fucking wrong.
Yeah, and look, Zach. When I was looking at it, between February 1st and March 1st, the total amount of pay-per-views one would pay for would be over $200, because the Tank fight is $79.99 as well.
Yeah.
Better be Evan Bivol is $25.99. And so, and of course, those that are on the unpaid payroll of these promoters, always have something to say, and oh, you're comparing this and that. All I'm doing is trying to push the narrative of just lowering the price, period, for the people, so that the people can consume it.
Yeah, the price point has to match the match. You understand? A fight like Gervonta Davis versus Lamar Roach, that's a $49.99.
At best,
dollar at best. You know what I'm saying? And then Peter and Bivol, that's a fight you pay millions of dollars for. But guess what? It's not, because the Turk put his shit down, which is great. But yeah, I think they would even be doing even bigger pay-per-views if they lowered the price down just a little bit, $20. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what time are you gonna stage the fight at the same time?
You have to stage the fight.
What do you do?
I'm staging. I need to. I'm the business guy. I need to start staging these fights just a little bit more earlier, because people are falling asleep. People are tired. These fights are starting a little too late. They're leaving the fucking bars while the main event's about to happen. I'm serious. I seen it. I seen it the other day. I seen it.
Yeah, people don't rock and roll and stay out late like they used to. Even that's true.
The main event needs to be starting at fucking 10:30 gangster. You understand? Not fucking 12:30, bro.
Great.
Yeah, and that's
I'm telling you this because I seen it. I seen people leaving.
Yeah.
And a place where Benavidez was happening they were leaving around 10-ish.
And that's the thing, like, people, of course, the naysayers, right? They're like, oh, well, who's gonna pay $80 for a pay-per-view in the daytime? Yeah, but you know what though? If you really look at it, like, if the fights go on during the early evening, because the main event usually is early evening, like around 5 Eastern or whatever. Guess what? That still leaves you the whole rest of the night to do whatever else you want to do.
Right.
And you don't have to solely dedicate your time, and you can catch the whole fight. You can catch the whole fight interview and all that.
True. I know. I understand that though. I understand what you mean, Abe, but sometimes, man, me growing up, man, even now, all I like the big fights, I just look. That's all. I make my whole night for it, because it's all I'm looking forward to. It's all before I had a kid, before everything. It's all I have is boxing. So I need to see these people fight. I'm making it my whole night, just not my whole fucking night while we're falling asleep.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Especially those ESPN shows. Sometimes they run that till 1 o'clock in the morning, 1:30 in the morning, and I'm like,
what time? What time was Kelly Plavlik fighting Jermaine Taylor? Probably like at 10 o'clock. Was one of the greatest fights I've ever seen. And Mosley versus Margarito, probably like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, I give you an example. I was in MSG for the Xander fight last June, and the main event started like 1:45 in the morning. It's like, bro, like, what are you doing here? Even that.
What are we doing?
I don't know. Oh man, so Canelo signs this deal. Where does it leave Jake Paul? Like, what does Jake Paul do?
Yeah.
Listen, he's still trying to leverage this Netflix deal. I have to assume, right? Like, trying to get I could only think that the Conor fight has to happen now, right?
I think
Conor fight has to.
That's the smartest plan B that I can think of.
Yeah, but now Conor has all the leverage.
Yeah, but not all the leverage, because that Jake Paul is a clever mutt. He'll find someone else. He'll find someone, right? Never
Well,
underestimate
KSI is still out there. That's still a moneymaker in the UK. In the
Okay.
UK, that's still a moneymaker. They'll fill up like the O2 Arena for that
Yeah,
fight.
that's a lowercase e event.
Yeah, which you can stuff in there in the
After
Netflix
you've
deal.
done Tyson, man, the come down is hard, bro. The come down is
Yeah.
hard for
The
reaching event status.
There's only two guys that will match or surpass those Tyson numbers: Canelo Alvarez and Conor McGregor.
And another that's interesting,
Conor McGregor.
Logan Paul. Logan Paul.
Fight his
Nah,
brother. Fight his brother.
In the region.
I
No,
don't think so. I don't think so.
those guys they would really try to tear each other's head off. They will make you want to watch that.
I think it would be too. I think it would be a work.
Yeah, they don't. That I don't know.
It'd be too much of a work.
Only those guys know that.
Because Logan Paul he's in the WWE like heavy duty. So I don't even know if the WWE would even let that rock like that. I mean, they would entertain.
There's money to be made and syncopation and right.
Yeah. Like if
connect them dots.
I think that we would probably be more likely to see Jake Paul and Logan Paul like in a WWE ring.
Yeah,
I think that would happen, and that would make some money.
Yep.
And that could be on Netflix based on the WWE's deal with Netflix.
Deals, relationships. Yep.
Yeah. So let me see. Omar Gonzalez has been commenting, and shout out to you. It's amazing how Jake Paul doesn't fight real professional boxers and still make millions. Only in America.
True.
Only in America.
True.
Oh man.
Yep.
This shit is crazy. It's crazy. So now we got Jake Paul maybe fighting in New York in July. He was talking about July 5th, I think it was. 5th.
Circle that date. Yep.
Circle that date. See what happens. Canelo probably fighting in Raider Stadium in Las Vegas. Should be a huge event. Maybe fights Bivol again if Bivol wins or loses. I don't know if he fights him, win or lose, February next year, and then I think maybe he fights Benavidez at the end of 2026.
Sounds like a plan.
And at that point, Benavidez could be the undisputed light heavyweight champion, and then therefore there's more incentive for him to do it.
True.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. I guess we'll see how all that pans out. Lastly, I just want to touch on, I had a conversation with the WBO president, Gustavo Olivieri. And one of the hot topics that everybody loves to talk about is the judges, right? And in my conversation with him, at least for the WBO, he wants to hold these judges accountable. He's newly appointed president 3 months, and he's heard and seen all of the things. He even put one of the judges, that he didn't want to share the name, but use a real example, in what he called the penalty box. Put him in the penalty box because he turned in a scorecard, and when Gustavo called him on, it was like, yo, why did you score this scorecard? Why did you score this round for this? The guy couldn't really give him like a straight answer. And so he put him in the penalty box, which for him, he's meaning now he's only doing regional fights at the lower club show level until he can build his confidence back up with him. And then he can assign them to new fights, title fights.
I need that.
I was just going to ask you, Zach, like, what do you think about that? And do you think this is like finally people are starting to?
We need this for every fucking little judge, every big judge, every legendary judge that's been around for. We need that. I don't give a fuck who you are. If this guy landed 30 punches and the other guy landed no punches, and you score that round for the guy that landed no punches, you should be in a penalty box and get slapped in the back of the head. This shit is important, man, because what the fuck are you watching? Some of these judges, like, how are you scoring these? And you can't, and then it's gonna save things where it's like, are they getting paid underneath the table and everything like that to just make this round for them? I don't know why. Yeah, the reason why is it no. Why did you score it this round? Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go to you, Mike, here in a second. On that point, he's also wanting to implement something where for every round that the judge scores, mind you, this is WBO sanctioned fights. Um, he wants to have 4 categories. Was it a dominant round? Was it a close round? Or was it, like one other category or whatever? To go to your point, Zach, to basically justify the score. That way, Gustavo, when he collects them, he can see it because he said he's a little bit of a nut like that, that he likes to see all the scorecards.
Yes.
So, Mike,
What needs to stop? Hold on. Well, let me say one more thing. What needs
yeah.
to just stop though is momentum rounds. So basically, the guy dropped them in the last round, or the guy, Terrence Crawford, dropped Earl Spence and hurt him the last round. Right, going forward, the next round it's a good round. It's a good round, and Earl Spence actually caught him more. Don't give Earl Spence that round. I mean, don't give Terrence Crawford that round just because he's got momentum from the last round. You got to give that round to Earl if he actually won it. You gotta see these things. They scoring these fights. They're scoring certain rounds for guys just because of the momentum of the round before. Can't happen no more. It's not fair.
Yeah. Um, what and that's a great point, Zach. Woods, when you hear those things, right? I know, we hear a lot of things from a lot of different people, and everybody wants to make changes and everything else.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
when you hear these specific things, though, do you see this as something that can really happen, or according to him, to Gustavo, it's already starting to happen? Do you see this like moving forward and maybe even bleeding over to the other sanctioning bodies?
You see this? Gray hair. 30 years. Been covering for 30 years. I've heard this ad nauseum. Nothing against Gustavo. But I have not seen anything beyond. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen real attempts to rectify. At some point, it's like, no, shame on me for believing that people actually fucking care enough and will clean it up. I'm not going to say at a certain point I gave up, but what the word I used before about acceptance about the way things are, and at a certain point, I got to stop investing my hope and saying, yeah, we could change this. We can't, because in 30 years, I haven't seen it much of any movement on actually trying to fucking fix it. At a certain point, was it 5 years ago? At some point, I'm just like, you know what? This is not a bug in the system. This is an accepted part of the system that either they're just accepting because they're fucking whatever, or it's corruption, or I don't know, but it's not changing. So I'm not getting my hopes up. One free idea, just one idea. We've talked about this before. This is what I would try. Have ex-fighters be judges. That way, you're not ensuring necessarily that you're going to get a grade A performance every time. But if it's a known fighter and someone that you respect, afterwards, there's a credibility there, right? I don't know. Fucking try it. Actually try something. Every now and again, we hear Mauricio trying. Oh, we're gonna have 5 judges. We're gonna have open scoring. Okay, so he could say, well, no, come on, Mike, I've tried. We've tried. Haven't tried hard enough because it's such a persistent, ridiculous problem. Man, how people who try to be bettors deal with it. Why would you even bet boxing? It's a total flip of the coin whether the judges are going to get it right. That is such a degree of uncertainty affecting your bet. Why would anyone do it unless they were tapped in and already knew which way the winds was blowing?
Mm-hmm.
So, no offense, like Gustavo, gonna believe that he's trying, but it's gonna be the same thing for me. Show me the proof, and then I'll let you know what I fucking think of it. And in the meantime, this gray hair tells me same shit, different day. Sorry.
Yeah, and one of the other things that I want to bring up, because it's always a hot topic as well, the sanctioning fees. The champions pay I think it's 3% sanctioning fees if they have the title and they're defending it, or if they're fighting for it. He wants to take those sanctioning fees and turn them into like CDs, or potentially turn it into like the down payment of a house for one of the champions for their first house,
Awesome
and stuff
idea.
like that.
Let's see that execution. Put some great people on it. Fucking run with that. Be the change that you want to see.
Not happening.
I have some degree of belief that this guy, I've gotten the sense of him up close, and sense that there's a real heart and soul in there. Now, what can happen is boxing is like politics. You can go into that arena with that good heart and soul. Then it chips away at you. The system chips away at you. You get not corrupted, but you fall into place, and your best laid intentions fall to the wayside. So here's my thoughts for Gustavo. Good luck, brother. Do it. Follow through. Execute. Good luck.
Now, Zach, you said not happening. Please explain why you feel that way.
You get a $500,000 sanction fee. Well, this guy got to get this money. This guy got to get this money. This guy got to get this money. Damn, what's left to put on the down payment for the house? Nothing. Who gives a fuck? We can't put $10,000 for this.
Where's your house? What down payment? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I when, in all fairness, he wasn't referring to every fighter, right? He's, there's going to be brackets of like or certain levels. Like if it's a big name, maybe they do the CD. If it's a middle range, maybe they do the house. It depends on where they're at in their career. I think will determine
basically lower their percentage. That's it. Lower your percentage.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, and
they're making the money because I get why they have to do it, is because these guys wouldn't be making the amount of money they would be making if they wouldn't be labeled as world champions and for those belts.
Right.
And I get it. Mm-hmm. They have to make the money. It's just let's not play fairy tale and talk about all these things. It's great, but if it does happen, if it can unfold all these good ideas and all that stuff. Okay, let's see who's willing to sacrifice their check, their salary in order to do it.
Never, no.
Well, it's not. Yeah, I mean, and I think that he is
whose
more
end is
so
it coming out of.
Yeah,
and I'm not just talking about Gustavo. I'm talking about everyone.
Yeah. But we're talking specifically. Yeah, we're talking about the WBO specifically here.
WBO. Well,
yeah. The WBA, IBF, WBC. That's a whole like different conversation. They on their own thing. I still got when you tell me IBF, I'm still thinking about the FBI investigation from the 80s. Like I'm still thinking about that, right? With the WBC, they say what they say, and it is what it is. So shout out to the Sportsnista CC. What is good? Yeah. She said is wild in these boxing internet streets. Yeah,
internet streets.
She said it absolutely makes sense in a nonsensical boxing way.
Only way it can ever make sense in boxing.
That's the only way. Yeah. Shout out to CC. She does great work for the Las Vegas Journal, I think it is. She'll correct me in the comments if I mess that up. But she covers fights out there. She covers a lot of different things. WNBA and a bunch of stuff out there.
UFC. She's always asking questions of Dana White. She's impressive. She's an underrated one in this. She's been doing it a while, and there's not a lot of women in this fucking space, and she probably doesn't actually get enough fucking credit, as a lot of them don't. There are a lot of fucking good ones actually, but she is an to me, she's an excellent reporter. So
There you go. LV Sports Biz
yeah,
is where she you could catch her material, and she's at the Sportsnista on X. Shout out to UCC for dropping in.
yeah,
All right, gents. I think we covered everything. Hey, shout out to Omar Gonzalez. He said just subscribe. I love the input. That's what's
cool.
up.
Thank
And
you.
Omar.
CC,
Appreciate that.
appreciate y'all. No doubt, CC, you already know. Listen, I think we covered it all for this Friday. I enjoyed it, unless there's a topic of discussion that I missed. And oh, by the way, Mike Coppinger never came on.
Well,
The
he never had that turkey chat at 3:30 either. So
at 2:30, at 2:30.
3:30, and no 30.
Oh,
Didn't
wait a
happen.
minute. Wait a minute.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
is it
Oh,
happening?
they didn't do a live. They did a recorded. So the
They
Ring
did it. They did
Magazine,
a chat that they're gonna drop. Okay.
just posted on X that on YouTube
Okay.
is the conversation with Mike Coppinger. So I guess
I better get
um
to work because I promised that for you, Abe, and I got to get into that very quickly. So I better sign off because I started
yes.
writing it. So I
I'm
want
about
to
to
finish
listen
it
to this
now.
in the
God
car
dang
right
it.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, so for those that don't know what he's talking about, Mike Woods will be reviewing and recapping the conversation between Turki Al-Sheikh and Mike Coppinger for fightsatw.com. So maybe in like 2 hours, you could probably see that and
Depending on
check
how
it
long
out.
the conversation is, or less.
Or less, or less. Thanks, Mikey. I appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Love you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
love
My
you too.
God, man. Appreciate you, Mike.
All right, Zach. Oh man, what a show! Listen, shout out to the 305 people that are on here. We appreciate y'all like 100%. We didn't get any callers this time.
Next time.
Next time maybe. Zach, final prediction: Chisora Wallin tomorrow, heavyweight.
Chisora, vicious knockout. Fifth round.
What?
Vicious knockout. Fifth round.
Ooh.
Bad. Bad. Bad.
Wow. Okay,
Vicious
you heard it
knockout.
here. I think it's gonna be a Valine late stoppage, like a 10th round stoppage. I think
Yo,
he's
that's
gonna
the only way he can do it. That's the only way he wins. Is that
yeah,
right there.
yeah.
That.
But
Yeah.
you know what
Okay.
though? At the end of the day, it's heavyweight boxing, baby. And I'm gonna be
That's
hyped
right.
to watch it
That's right.
tomorrow afternoon here in the States, early evening here. So it's 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern is the card. I think excuse me, that's where the main event, I think it is. Yeah, the main event will be around that time.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Cool.
The card itself starts at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to check it out on the zone, Queensbury, and yeah, let's see what it is. Let's see. CC says, imagine what would have come of Valina the doc if the doc had stopped the Fury fight. We were talking about that. We were talking about that. His career would have taken off probably if the doc would have stopped it, like he probably should have.
Man. Man.
Crazy, right? The what
Man.
ifs, the what ifs.
Always the
And
what if.
yeah, man. And so Valine, he has an opportunity to get his name put back into the Saudi bag, and and that heavyweight tourney over there. And let's see what he does. If he does this thing, then we could very well see that. Shout
Yep.
outs to his management, Fighters First Management. Jolene Mazzone is out there with him. Shout out to Adrian Clark, AC,
That's my guy. I like him.
who is the
Like that guy.
CEO over there. And they also are in charge of Brian Norman Jr.'s career as well. So Brian Norman Jr. is coming back here. Was it in February under the Michaela Mayer uh, Jonas fight, part 2. So, all right, Zach, hit him up. What you want to say? Final
I just
jazz,
hope
final flurries.
everybody has a great weekend, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. You ain't even have to be tuning in, but you guys did on a Friday, which is fucking fire. And I appreciate that. Shout out to all the guys that are going to be fighting tomorrow. No matter who wins, it's going to be great fights. And they're putting their life on the line. Remember, boxers are still human beings. Remember that. And I hope everybody has a blessed one.
All right, listen, you can follow Zachary Ochoa on X at Zachary Ochoa, on Instagram whenever he decides to come back to that. And you can follow me on X at AG718. The website is fightsatw.com, fights around the world. The YouTube is
Yo, I
where
didn't
is
know they
it?
still got Instagram. That still exists.
Yeah. The YouTube, as seen on the screen, is at AG Boxing, where you can catch us live on Fridays. We try to go every Friday, but we miss a few Fridays here and there. But if you subscribe and hit the bell, then you'll know when we're live. Uh, Hit a like, comment, share, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Come check us out, and then and we'll see you maybe next week. Next week is the Keyshawn Baranchek. So I think over
Okay.
there
We
in New
might do
York
it.
City.
Yeah, yeah, we might do
Yeah.
that.
So
Yeah.
we
Why
might
not?
do that.
Yeah, yeah.
And maybe Zach pulls up at the Garden. Who knows?
Yeah. We might do that,
Yeah.
man. We might
Yeah.
do that, man.
All right, man. Listen, I appreciate y'all again. 308 folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Till next time. Peace.
Peace.